All right, and we're recording. This is the Kubernetes SIG Network meeting for Thursday, May 16th. Bowie, does anybody over there have issue triage lined up for today?
Yes.
Cool. So let's start with that.
So can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right. Let's get started. The first issue. This is 2 days ago. Kubeproxy IPVS doesn't update IPs after node failure. Is it actually alive? Kubespray.
You can assign this one to me, Andrew Seckham.
Okay. Oh, before we start, so anyone want us to help out? Please type your GitHub handle in the chat. Thank you. All right, next one. Kube DNS TTL never expire.
Oh, really?
What? Well, that's not true of it anymore in CordiaS. It's under like 5 seconds or something. You can give this to me, I'll look at it.
Okay.
And if it's, I think if it's
1.11.3, you know.
I mean, what are we maintaining QDNS anymore, or are we?
If someone wants to go through and deprecate it, that would be great, but no one has done that.
Okay. Because that means we have to fix bugs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next one. AWS ELB configuration changed. It sounds like a support request. Anyone from AWS?
This also, if we SIG AWS? Okay, SIG AWS.
Okay, so it's a support request. All right, let's skip. The BusyBox cannot connect core DNS service.
Should we remove SIG Network from that one? Is that a cloud provider thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, BusyBox cannot connect core DNS services.
My guess is networking is not up and running. Do you know what it is when that happens? Well, it's like Chris is already on it.
I don't know if he's
Yeah, this is already, I saw him on the call. I mean, I don't know if you can actually assign something to me.
Oh, you're not in the Kubernetes org at this point?
Actually, I am. So yeah, you can assign it to me.
Yeah, you just have to triage it and like mark it as
I mean, it's probably
support request.
A configuration issue. I'm guessing their network layer is not set up right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next one. Support for MP TCP. I think it's a feature request.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Skip. No DNS resolved for 5 minutes after node failure. Core DNS.
Can take a look and follow.
Okay.
Wait, remove the power cord from the machine.
They have those? Machines have power cords?
I thought we're all in the cloud.
So it sounds like it's a scheduling issue. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not getting rescheduled.
If they only have one master,
I see.
Again, I might just be.
What's a master code?
Yeah, I responded to this one too.
Looks like it resolves itself. I don't think there's anything to do with networking here. It's just.
All right. It's closable, right? Okay. Or let's wait and see it for another cycle if it comes back. All right. Okay, existing pods after restrictive limit range applied may cause issues.
How's this a networking thing?
That was my question.
This looks like a networking.
It says
Maybe
we.
the font, maybe there was some.
Yeah, this doesn't look like networking.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost looks like they are playing around with limits on containers, and the networking container daemon set may not be able to support that low of a limit or something. And so it isn't running. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know if this is networking at all.
Yeah, SIG node?
SIG node? Yeah, I'd say node.
Okay. All right. Okay, next one. If update the target port, can I set that into service
What does it have to do with network? Yeah.
I think it should because it's a service.
No, I think this person sent me a PR. I have to look at it. You can assign this to me if it's related. That PR, yeah.
Okay.
Just assign it to me.
Would you mind just tagging me in that issue? I'm kind of curious what they're doing.
All right. Done.
Thanks.
Okay.
Can you take the unresolved off of it?
Well, it doesn't have a kind yet, right? Usually
Oh yeah, it's a
it's support. So if
bug.
you have just support, that's fine. It's not necessarily a bug,
Okay.
unless Ollie says it's a bug.
Well, he sent me a fix, so I'm assuming it's a bug. If it's a,
But I wouldn't.
we can remove it later.
Okay. All right.
But also get rid of SIG node. It's nothing to do with node. We sent them one and we take one away.
The node was.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bug, yeah.
Okay. All right. Next one. Labeling the unsafe.
So it's like not whitelisted.
Not necessarily.
I think this is SIG node, right?
Yeah. It is. You just want to white. Okay.
Okay.
Just-
Take it out.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay. SIG node tests don't work on private clusters. That is true. Looks like a cleanup or.
They identified like a few tests that are supposed to potentially work.
Okay. All right, I'll assign
Who's
myself.
looking at that?
All right, cool.
New proxy running under a static kernel reports false positive module load errors. But those are warnings, right? It didn't stop working.
Yeah, it's. Are they running it in? Okay, they are running it in like this.
This isn't the one where it couldn't load due to compression.
The
I'm not
complaint here is
surprised.
that a warning is not warranted if this is a state-based system. Right. We don't have a problem with failing to get an edge.
I don't know that we can accurately tell whether, I mean, we'd have to do some interesting stuff to figure out whether the module's loaded or not in a static system. I mean, I guess you could do like ls mod and check for it before you insert it or something like that, but that seems a little icky.
Just would get rid of the warnings, or
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, if you can't actually load them because your kernel isn't built with that module, then
oh yeah, but they're saying they built them in. It's just you get a warning because they're not.
well, you get a warning because the mod probe fails because it's already there, essentially.
Oh, it says should carry on and not attempt and throw error messages about, wait, what?
They just don't want the warning message printed when the module is built into the kernel because it's already there. So why is kubeproxy trying to insert the module?
I see. But does it do it repeatedly or just when it runs?
I mean, it sounds like he might just be assuming that kubeproxy is not working when actually it is.
Yeah.
Like he says, it causes it to believe that these features don't exist, but actually I think it's just spitting out a log and carrying on, which is what he wants it to do.
Yeah.
I think someone needs to go and just look at the code to see what happens. If it's just a startup warning message, it doesn't seem too bad.
Maybe assign me that one.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, the log does say you can ignore this message in
Yeah.
some scenarios. So
All right.
Unmerged.
I think this one has the PR. Oh yeah, this is a.
It's a bug, isn't it?
It's an improvement, I would say.
Oh, really?
Also on the last one, the IPVS proxy only does that once on startup, so it's not a huge deal.
Okay, cool. So it looks like a cleanup. So it's not.
Is this like a good first issue? It seems like a very local change.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay.
I did actually take a look at this one before, and I didn't like LGTM it because I wasn't sure about the implications. Maybe there was a reason why it overwrote the service port name, but maybe not. I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I want you to assign this one to me. I'll take a deeper look at it.
All right. Thank you.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, this
same
one
person.
has the. This one has the.
Are these dupes?
Um.
Should use flatten value type.
So this one has the PR. Okay. So you just need to merge the PR.
If it makes sense.
Yeah, if it makes sense.
Okay, next one.
I think we have seen this.
Yeah, I think that was assigned to Jacob, and he has been looking into it. But yeah, I mean, we don't have a response from the reporter on that one.
All right.
So I guess we could just ping them again, and if not, close it. He could not reproduce that, and he was having trouble trying to get a multi-nodes cluster up using, I think, kubeadm or something.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, we didn't get response from the reporter.
Well, let's circle back. So last week I think we have. Oh, there's no response. Let's just ping again. Yeah.
That's not last week, by the way.
Yeah, that's 2 cycles.
That's a month ago.
Okay, one more cycle. IP tables entry for Kubernetes don't match.
Okay.
This is a update problem.
Go down. How to reproduce it. Does fix the problem for a short time goes back to the wrong IP address. Interesting.
So we've seen variations of this problem in OpenShift for a while, every now and again. It may be related to min sync period, but we haven't been able to get verbose enough debugging to really figure out why sometimes kubeproxy seems like it gets a little bit slow. IP tables proxy specifically, not IPVS. I'm assuming this is IP tables proxy here.
How do they say IPv?
could this be something else that's writing the bad stuff back in?
Could be.
It seems to revert back to the old rules, is what he was saying.
Very puzzling. Oh, but there's a different person. The IPVS is not related. It keeps happening, just in my case, still in IPVS mode. Looks like.
Yeah, I think last time I saw this, I was suspecting that it was like a watch issue on the API server. But there's not enough information to determine that without trying to do a whole reproduction of this environment.
It looks like the person's still active, so we should see if they can respond with more information.
Yeah. I think the fact that deleting the pod fixes it temporarily.
But how does it get into the stale state in the beginning?
Okay, seems like someone needs to go ping the person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can do that. I'm already on the issue.
Sure. Okay. All right. You have it.
Are we marking as triaged if someone owns it? Sorry.
I think we should probably wait until they actually take a proper look at it, because we're trying to not get more than like 30 seconds in here.
Yeah, I think the owner's job is to decide whether it's triaged or not.
Exactly.
Okay.
Although once it's marked kind of bug, it's kind of triage.
Yeah. Dual stack umbrella. Oh, that's not a. Wait. Can we go back and unlabel it as? Because this one is not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There we go.
So this one is already assigned.
Yeah. Has been triaged. Oh,
Okay.
Let's just remove it. Okay.
All right. So
It's called for all containers. On Windows. Someone from Windows. Anyone with Windows expertise? Oh, looks like Patrick Lang is already on here.
I think that's expected because kubelet calls calls the runtime. The runtime usually interacts with CNI when setting up the sandbox. So looks like still active. Let's just ping it and then see. If
it looks like but it's stale. Okay, seems like the person has.
Okay, all right. Next one.
This is just a feature.
This is a SIG node problem, right?
Right. Liveness Pro.
This is there AWS?
No, they couldn't get a. There's too many interfaces attached to the CVR.
No.
That's what that usually means.
Okay.
You put 256 interfaces on the thing.
Which means you're beyond the recommended 110 pods per node.
Right.
Or
they have a leak in their CNI.
Yeah. It sounds like
More likely that.
Yeah. Sounds like a support request.
It sounds like a bug potentially, but it looks, if it's like specific to how AWS is doing CNI.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it said KubeNet actually.
KubeNet, actually.
Okay, I mean this potentially.
This is on like version 1.8 or something.
Oh man.
Wow.
Server version 1.6.
Oh man.
We should probably just
Say it's not
Yeah,
supported.
it's not supported. Update to your latest version and see if it goes away.
Yeah, something like that. Like just say
Continue update.
To a supported version.
Yeah. All right. All right. Next one.
I would count this as triage. Well, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see if it gets back. This is sort of like SIG node, right?
Kubelet should track TCP. Yeah, isn't this? But started leaking. This is a feature request and it's frozen.
and it's not SIG network.
Yeah, it's sort of SIG network.
It's
but
network
like-
related
Yeah,
resources,
no,
but is it
yeah.
really anything?
Okay.
It's not like it's part of one.
All right. So we are into 2018 April. This is a cleanup, not a bug.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also triage, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next one. So we are almost there. This is all the open issues left.
Installed Kubernetes.
Not creating IP table. This is.
These are getting pretty old
Mhm.
in terms of versions. Like it could be very well fixed.
Okay.
When's the last activity?
28 days ago.
Could not create IP tables policy. That doesn't seem like the same thing. It like couldn't create IP tables at all, and this person has IP table rules.
Why don't you assign that one to me? I'll follow up and probably just end up closing.
All right. Thank you. All right. Wow.
You should dupe it to that other one, shouldn't it?
Yeah, this is dupe of it. Okay. Clean up. Okay. Allowed to use config.
That's a feature. You can assign it to me. We can reflect it in the ingress repo.
2017.
Oh man, I don't know if we can really make headway on this one. We should probably just, can you go down? Is there additional?
No.
Yeah.
It's a tough problem. Upgrade test.
Wasn't there work on upgrade testing? No? Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right, we'll just leave it as is. LBs on 1.7 can interesting.
Existing. This is 1.7.
You can assign it to me. I can see if this actually got closed. You can take out the.
Yeah.
It looks like a bug. And
This is feature, right? No.
Who's this person?
E2 test. Oh, I see.
Did we ever do this?
There are a pair of new end-to-end test PRs up. I think one of them might have these in it. You can send this to me and I'll.
There is one that's up there. I created this issue back when we added this, so it might.
So can we? Are we?
I guess we just need the PR to be linked in here, and then you'll get closed.
Yeah. Stick me on this one too.
All right. All right. Okay. Network policy. Consider. Okay. This is a
Feature request.
Feature.
Consider defining empty from as none. Actually,
this is
resolved.
This is super old. This is probably pre-GA network policy.
I think it is.
Okay. So close it if you think it's Working conflict for GK ingress with SSL termination.
This is like a support request.
Just a time check. This is probably our last one.
Yep, that's fine. We're almost done. This is the.
How can I create a wait? This is like a support request. It's like, how do I do something? We should just close this if there's no.
It's a support.
Yeah, when was the most recent activity on this?
We can just close it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should just close this. If someone will open if it's actually a bug. Someone will open. All right.
All right, cool. We are down.
Getting close.
Yeah, we're down to only a few.
Nice.
That was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah. I'm surprised they don't rot away.
Yeah, some
people
of
have to mark them as frozen or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next on the agenda?
Let's see. Yeah, so I had a couple things, mostly just one was an FYI that automation is going to start looking at GitHub statuses when assigning PR reviews. So if you've got busy marked in your status, it will respect that. Don't all go mark yourselves as busy at once. And there's more information in that link in the agenda. And then the other one was a call for help to be a SIG representative in Barcelona at the Contributor Summit. And it looks like Christopher has already signed up for that. But if you're interested, I'm sure they would accept a second as well.
Where's this? I'll be there, so I can do it. This is Bowie. Where do I have to be?
Good question. I'm not going to be there. It's the SIG meet and greet.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think I helped did some of that. Can you send me the information, Casey?
Yeah, I can send that to you. Cool. And next was from Christopher with an Ingress status update.
Yeah, so most of the V1 Beta 1 stuff is done. I was going to say all of it, but unfortunately, I was reading through the updated proposal, and it seems like we wanted to add stuff that we're going to put in the V1 also into V1 Beta 1.
Yes.
So then I guess the next step is really to approve what we want to put into V1 before I can implement it in V1 Beta 1.
Right. Yeah. So that's yeah, we have to figure that one out.
Okay. And then the last note upon it is just people need to review that, I guess. We have this marked as 115, and the code freeze is on the 30th of this month. So I'm not sure with KubeCon being next week, unless we really churn through all of those things really quickly. I'm not sure if they'll make it for this release.
Yeah, so it seems unlikely, but we should ping the proposal at the very least, so people take a pass on it.
Okay, great. And the last thing, if people can review the one that I put in there, it's basically just linking in the issues in the KEP and checking them off, just so people are aware of where the status is of stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's
Cool.
it.
Thanks, Christopher. Dan, multiple node internal IPs.
Yep. So we have found a problem where if you have AWS, or I mean, it actually really affects any cloud provider or setup where you have multiple internal IPs reported for nodes, that when the kubelet sends those IPs up to the API server, the strategic merge patch reorders them. So kubelet has them in an array, and if there are more than one during the patch, they get reordered and sent to the API server. It appears to be a bug in the strategic merge patch code, but the point of all this was I was wondering if anybody here has good use cases for multiple internal IPs. Everything in Kubernetes seems to just use the first one in the list if there is more than one, and assume that the first one in the list is the correct one for all operations like data plane, node IP for pods, stuff like that. So obviously things get a little dicey if the API server starts reporting a different one. So anyway, I'm just wondering if anybody had cases where they are using multiple node internal IPs for private purposes or something like that, because Kube doesn't care about the rest of them.
Yeah, I think the EKS folks ran into this quite often because they would have an ENI interface there that would conflict with the VPC IP. And so the node IP flag on the kubelet is kind of a hack that looks at all the internal IPs and overrides it with whatever is set on node IP.
Right. I mean, we ran into this case when you're not specifying the node IP specifically in the kube config. Yeah, and it can be a workaround, but for some situations it's not. We're kind of pursuing a patch for strategic merge patch to fix the issue, but it might have side effects since apparently everything is using, the current possibly buggy strategic merge patch right now. But I think we're going to post a patch to fix that and then see what happens and try to get people who wrote the original strategic merge patch code to take a look at it and see if it looks legit.
Yeah, my point there was that I have not seen a use case where multiple internal IPs are needed.
Okay.
But there needs to be like a fallback method where we decide which internal IP is the actual one we want.
Right. The problem is that even if kubelet does decide that, which currently it just picks the first in the array, it's between kubelet and the API server that things get reordered. So even if everything agrees in the cluster on the same, which one is preferred, it'll still get mishandled at the API server level.
Gotcha. Just saying that for out-of-tree providers, this wouldn't be an issue because we wouldn't rely on the kubelet. But I know that's a completely different problem.
Okay. Good to know. Thanks. All right. That was it for that one.
And that is it for the agenda as well.
Back to triage.
Not many left.
Think we can do it in 20?
Keep trying. The actual agenda only took 8 minutes.
This one is like
trashed.
Yeah.
So it's duped. Okay. We are fixing it. Actually, kind feature or what?
Well, this question could be answered, but whether the answer is
One people like.
one people like. Spacing, locking, timeout, and large clusters. This one.
This one is very old, I remember.
But is there any activity gone to fix this? Let's see.
So it depends heavily on what kernel version they have. I don't know if we asked for that.
It's pretty old. But isn't it the case that if you have a ton of services, it will get locked for an extended period of time?
Not necessarily. I mean, we've run with over 100,000 IP tables rules, and when you have the right kernel fixes and stuff, it does not actually take more than a second or 2 or 4. I think the current restore lock timeout is like 5 seconds, and we almost never see that in the right configuration. But that kernel fix is actually pretty old. I think it's from like late 2017 or something like that, or mid 2017. But of course, that might take a while to filter down into whatever kernels the reporter has. That's just a thought. It may not be the case anymore, but since those fixes, we really haven't seen the original issue with, like 20, 30 second long IP tables restore times.
Let's see. So if you go down to the bottom, because this person actually says which version.
Yeah. I did see something referencing 4.15 just a couple up, but that was...
My recommendation would be to close this, because if it comes back, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't ever heard of it lately. Okay.
This is the DNS cannot watch all pods thing, I think, leading to this not being there. It seems like a feature request, if I recall.
Yes. They want pod.
Yeah, they want pod names, I think.
Also, I was talking about kube DNS. Does this apply to core DNS?
Yes and no. I mean, we don't watch pods either, but we do have a thing where optional. You can fill in endpoint names or pod names as endpoint names, but that would be I don't know. I would have to read this. You could assign it to me.
Isn't this like a feature of stateful sets? Should you just be using something different?
Well, stateful sets are just a headless service from the network point of view. They just set the endpoint name based upon instance, as opposed to all of them having the same.
Oh, I see. DNS name is set up for each pod replica set using the pod name as a host name. Isn't
Yeah,
I think that's like it is along the lines of a feature request,
Yeah,
but it's yours.
that's fine. You can change it to kind feature. It's definitely not a bug.
All right. All right.
AWS.
It
2017.
looks like a bug, but anyone want to take a look?
This remains an issue, at least on AWS.
Let's find someone.
Anything I can do to help, can you assign it to this person?
Which one?
The last person.
The last
Oh,
person.
I see. Okay. Go for it. Can I assign it? No.
They're not a thing.
No, the contributor would not remember.
Let's go.
Well, they count on March.
It's March 18th. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like
I can take a look. I can take a look.
Oh, okay. All right.
assigned to Moonfish.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Import different protocol. Oh, I see. That's the because the fields uses the service port as key or not. It looks like a API machinery bug.
Well, I think we
Is it a
defined
bug?
the key appropriately.
Yeah, that's true. You need a joint key, the service and the port and the protocol. Okay, it is trashed, then it's a bug.
Yeah, it's almost like a feature request because it technically works as advertised, but yeah, we can leave it as bug.
All right, cool. So we like cluster cider to be fetchable by pods. You can use
that feature request.
Yeah, you can do.
There's also a whole thing about.
Yeah, you can put it in the environment variable.
Wait, resolve it.
Resolve it? Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. Let's get rid of it. Oops.
Got rid of too much.
All right. Okay, DNS runs into connection.
It's assigned to me.
Oh, it's a pretty old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can look at it if you need to.
It's pretty old though.
Yeah.
Probably kind of stale.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are gonna
Okay.
flag
Node.
issues.
This is node problem, right? Let's see.
What is a plague?
Flag is the pod life cycle or something.
Event generation.
Oh yeah, event. Yeah.
This is super old.
Oh, you know what? I have seen this when Docker gets wedged because P-Leg Loop talks to Docker continuously. And there were cases where it used to do that.
Oh, well, it was 5 days ago.
Oh, really?
Ooh, man. Okay.
But is it?
It's
networking?
probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not networking. Anything network here. Doesn't look deterministic.
Okay,
Yeah.
fun. Create an upgrade test for DNS.
Oh, this is
1.6 retrospective.
It's still
Clean-
valid.
clean
It's
up.
not triage though. Yeah, clean up.
I think when we went from QDNS to Core DNS in open source, there's an upgrade test for that.
That is true. Can we close this? But we're doing upgrade tests anyways. I think there's push just in general, so it would just get covered for this by this.
They've got a specific issue that it didn't catch. So.
All right, let's leave it open.
Mhm.
Avoid and
Ooh, this is feature request.
yep,
Sorry, Mike.
it's kind of network congestion. That's kind of hard.
Ooh, sure. The IP is not static.
Assign it to me.
Is it still a bug? Well, 2016.
Yeah. Get rid of the unresolved. This just clean up. Oh man.
Oh, this is feature. Okay.
Replace with something
with some
generic. We're working on it. Come on. All right. Next.
Kind of feature. Okay.
Rationalize distribution. Did we fix this? I thought we moved the CNI binary somewhere.
Yeah, to CNI repo, right?
Can someone back me up?
That sounds familiar.
I think we move it to use the CNI.
It's definitely not at Kubernetes release anymore.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain of that.
Hey, we had a discussion around this a couple months ago for that port map security thing, and I don't think it really got fixed. At least there's no clear place that it go or that it's supposed to be in, and I think Tim filed a couple of issues about that.
Can we
this one to one of those?
Yeah, link this one. You're already on it, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe I'll link it later. Let's try triage. Sticky IPs for feature, right? This is a feature.
All right. Next.
Not gonna happen. No.
Oh, this one's happening, right? Can we link it to topology?
Well, it's sort of it's stalled. Yeah, you can assign that to me. We don't have. We've got the cap, but Mark hasn't.
No people.
The team, yeah, I think they're just busy. I don't know if Eugene or anybody's on the call.
Okay.
Make service to endpoint relationship explicit. Feature request.
This is.
I think this might go into endpoint slice well if it was useful to consider.
Yeah, assign yourself to Minhan.
Yep. It has a label.
All right.
Okay.
Queue control manager should batch endpoint updates. Hey, just assign. I think you should just take this as part of endpoint slice and get rid of it.
Yep. All right.
And get rid of the purple.
Okay. All right. Cool. Next.
Oh, there's another one. Take all of these.
Okay. Triage.
All right. Your tabs are getting bigger and bigger as we get rid of
Yes.
Support mixed protocols.
Wow, that happens on the back end.
Yeah, that depends on the cloud provider. This is a feature, sure.
You can assign to me. You can just hold it. All right.
Port range.
Oh, this is assigned already.
Yeah.
And they had a cap, I think.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Next one. Evolution of
2015.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if these are.
What is the ask on this one?
Let's see.
What did Clayton say? Kubeproxy is moving to its own repo. It is already a pod. Ignore the unidling stuff. And it seems unlikely we're going to move DNS to kubeproxy.
Yeah.
I feel like most of these are obsolete.
Yeah, we should just close this.
Yeah, I think so.
Reopen if needed. Clayton's gonna already. No.
If he does, send him my way. I'll talk to him.
Simplify.
Yeah, these are getting super. This is like for your reading, basically.
What is this, like Cube 1.3 at this point?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this should probably, yeah, exactly. Because if we ever get to like service.
Yeah. All right. Next, claims and service classes. Oh man, this is. Sure, just assign it to me. I don't know if it's really actionable given how everything has evolved. All right.
CC me on that one. I think that might be an interesting issue I'm interested in. I'll look at that too.
All right.
Decouple dbus and IP tables.
Is this still a thing?
I think
like, what was the deal here on this one anyway?
I remember there's a piece of code.
IP tables should receive some interface that dbus happens to implement instead of coupling.
Yeah, I mean, there's a thing here where we want to watch firewalld, and when firewalld does a flush, then we automatically run IP tables restore to make sure that the rules all happen again. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's actually a real issue that they're coupled, but maybe it's a good first issue for somebody because the code is literally, should be less than 20 lines or something like that.
Oh, good first issue. All right. Extremely slow. Okay, I think
close, reopen if needed.
Yeah.
Totally.
Go rely on G-Cloud for E2E tests. We're still relying on it. No.
No, I thought we got.
Wow. September 2015. This is going to be like a record setter here for age.
We're getting to the really old ones now.
Yep.
All right.
These are.
Oh man.
Search that.
I feel like we've gotten to the point of just using the resolve hammer.
We're not going to do this. Yeah, we're not going to do this.
Close it.
Yeah, we're not going to. Everyone's going to be extremely angry.
All right.
Ship has sailed.
If we did autopath, it would be hidden from the
External load balancer should present some progress status. Just assign it to me.
This is
we can clean it up when we improve the status of things. Get rid of the untriaged, unresolved triage.
Let's see. All right, almost there.
Fire events.
But there's so many.
So why would it run out of FDs? Oh, yeah, okay. Never mind, I get it.
Oh.
Yeah, how's it send an event if it doesn't have any files?
But then you end up having event per node. That's why kubeproxy never sends immense events.
What's that?
Because you're gonna have one event per node.
Oh, but it's on the specific kubeproxy, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We can put it in the. We can create an issue. Let's create an issue of improving kubeproxy ability, and then we can just close it with this one.
Okay.
Assign it to me so we can just link it together.
Yeah. Also, at this point, is this IP tables or user space proxy? If it's user space, then we don't care that much, do we?
Yeah.
Why would it be opening a whole bunch of file descriptors?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It does have to open
Only
to
for
hold the port, right? Anyways, we can
only for
either close it or we can close it when I open the visibility issue.
Okay.
Oh man,
No,
these are all feature requests.
Yeah,
and
not gonna happen.
Although actually this one someone asked about it recently.
We've talked about this in SIG Network in the past, right? The AWS people wanted to have some resource accounting for IPs. I mean, it's come up a couple of times.
So this is still relevant.
Yeah.
Feature request, right? So
Okay. All right. Triaged. Okay.
we can assign it to somebody maybe.
Yeah.
Pods need to redeclare service links if and only if they want the environment variables created.
Wow, 2014. Nice.
This is getting super in the weeds. Yeah, it's a feature. All right, last one. Adding socket activation. My CTO invented this technique. Okay. This is like idling, I guess.
Yeah, so we have that for OpenShift. It more or less works.
It sounds like INET need.
Yeah.
In the OpenShift case, it just holds the port open, then you scale down the pods, and then when something hits the port, it sends an event that something else looks for that then scales up the number of replicas.
Ooh.
So it's not particularly complicated, but unfortunately, the implementation is.
All right, I think that this also sounds like
Feature request.
it's like cloud functions kind of. Okay. All right, we're done.
All right, we're done.
Wow.
We're done.
Well, now we actually got to fix the ones that all got assigned to us.
We did close a bunch.
Yeah, we closed a lot.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. See you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.